So quick story, 10 minutes. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever it is, when I was 252 pounds, I'm a weeble wobble. I lost a ton of weight. I got down to, I think I got down to 202 or 201. And a lot of people are like, yo, 200 pounds, you fat fuck. But no, seriously. I looked great. I was looking great. I don't, I got to get back there now, but that's a whole other story. Right now, Amy's rolling her eyes. But anyway, as she comes out to the living room and sees me chowing another bag of Funyuns. But anyway, those were practice Funyuns. A couple of years ago, I decided, I moved to Naugatuck, and I said, there was a gym right down the road. I said, I'm going to join this gym. I'm going to do it for real this time, right? So I go over, I join the gym, and I know myself. So I said, I got to book a thing with a person.
Right, a schedule.
So
yes.
I say to the girl at the desk, I said, who do you got? And of course, she's got 3 women and 1 guy. So, and I'm like, I can't do it with the women because I'm going to be all fat and sweaty, and I don't want to embarrass myself and whatever. So I'm like, give me the dude, which I'm not going to mention the name of the gym or whatever, but the dude was a total, Jersey Shore, gym tan laundry, douche plug, right? Total fucking shit zipper, this dude. But it is what it is, and he says, what do you want to do? And I just told him, I said, I carry all my weight over here. I look like a turkey, skinny legs, skinny arms, big belly, and a fucking neck. And he's like, you're right. I'm like, fuck you. But anyway, so he says, come back, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. So I go over there this one night, and I show up. Typical 40-year-old, corny, doesn't know how to dress white dude. I went and got my new cheap, shorts at Walmart and a shirt. One of those ones that are supposed to soak up sweat. Bullshit. I got a lawsuit on my hands. And I decide, don't eat too heavy before you go because he's probably going to push you. So anyway, I had, half a Fluffernutter. I decided to go because at the time that's what I was doing, almost. And so I go there, and he puts me in this group with 4 or 5 other people. And I'm all in, man. I got my Fitbit on. I've got the other thing on my wrist that gives you balance. Those copper tone things that people are... I really was that guy. I'm that guy who has to go for his 6th year of high school and buys a backpack finally and really takes it serious. So that's me. And I go, and I start doing these little exercises little by little, right? So they got us in this private room. Well, anyway, I'm in a group with this overweight Spanish dude who knows not a lick of English, and he's looking at me, and all he kept saying was, see? Yeah, I see. This other dude who was about 65 years old, who was probably a member of the Insane Clown Posse fan club, the Juggalos.
He's a juggalo.
He was dressed like a juggalo. He had the tattoos of a juggalo. He literally, everything about him said a pack of cools and a 94 Ford Escort. So he's in the group. And then there's another dude, like the gym guy, total Guido, but he must have lifted back in the day, but quit for 10 years and really let himself go, but still thinks he's there.
Carrying himself.
Right.
Yeah.
So, he's a Pinto with a Corvette motor. Not happening, bro. So anyway, we start to do, I know I'm rambling, and we get to doing these exercises. And this is where New Year's resolutions can suck a butt. I'm going, and he's got us doing it. And these dudes are doing it flawless. I swear to you, we were in a 1-hour session. I was 7 minutes in. I started to sweat. I got real hot. I could feel the sweat going down my back into my ass crack, my legs, the shorts, they were baggy. They were stuck to my legs from the sweat. The shirt I bought that was supposed to be sweat resistant.
It wasn't resisting the sweat.
It was suffocating me. My eyeballs got heavy. They started to hurt. I could feel my hands trembling. My arms were trembling. My knees were trembling. I was so out of shape. I could, you don't realize how out of shape you are until, you have to do these things.
That's when you know.
I went over to the nephew's house and I shot hoops and I did it for a half hour. It felt good, but not until they put you through this rigmarole, old school word, that you realize what the fuck is going on. Dude, hands are shaking, knees are shaking, and now all start looking at me. And I'm like this. And the Spanish dude's going, see?
See?
See? And I'm like, being as quick-witted as I am, I couldn't admit failure. I couldn't admit that I was such a tub of shit, that I was out of shape, that I couldn't do it. I lied to the dude, told him I was diabetic and my sugar must be low. Totally lied to the dude. And he goes, "Oh, what should I do?" And now my mother's a
Candy bar.
diabetic. My mother's a diabetic. So the one thing I remember is, "You have a candy bar or orange juice?"
I knew that was coming.
So he's like, "We don't have any orange juice." So he brings me like this really sugary cranberry type-ish. It wasn't cranberry juice, but it was some sort of sport drink thing. And he brings me a Nestle Crunch. My fat ass is sitting there eating. And so here's me in my Walmart shorts, my sweat-soaked shirt, my head. I'm unshaved. I must have just looked like a fat mole, sweating, eating a fucking Nestle Crunch bar on the floor. I'm sitting
with your juice.
I'm sitting on the floor of the gym like this, leaned up against the wall, eating a Nestle's Crunch, and just remembering, this Nestle Crunch is banging. And they're all just looking at me. Now, he must have said something to the people at the counter, because all the other trainers and a couple of the people, they were all like, "Is he okay? Is he okay? Is he fine?" And I hear one of the girls goes, "Does he need 911?" And I was like, "Dude, you fucking dial 911. I'm killing everybody in this fucking place."
They all gotta die.
So now we're sitting there, and it's got to be, I'm 7 minutes into the workout. I collapse. I'm dead. I'm eating a Nestle's Crunch, having a nice little drink, sitting on the floor. I still can't catch my breath. I'm still sweating. Now I've convinced myself, dude, I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna die here. I'm gonna have a heart attack. My heart felt like it was beating out of my chest. I'm embarrassed as fuck. Now every person in this place is pretending they have to come into this isolated room that nobody has any reason to come in. They're all walking in like, and then like, "Oh yeah," and then like,
They want to see the
"Oh
car
yeah,
wreck.
oh yeah."
It's like a car
they
wreck.
they all must have been like, "Yo, there's a baby walrus dying in the fucking next room." So they all wanted to come see me fucking
God.
dying in the goddamn room. So finally, they're about 50 minutes into it, and he goes, "How you feeling?" I swear to God to you, I looked right at him and I go, do you have another Nestle's Crunch?" He goes, just like this, he looks right at me, he goes, "No, I don't." And he must have just been like, this fat fuck. He ain't no diabetic. He just was
Fucking hungry.
So now walk out. Now I don't. So now he's 50 minutes in, and he says to me, "Can you continue? Do you want to continue with the group?"
Still got.
No, you murderous fuck. I don't. I do not want to continue with the group. Meanwhile, Insane Clown Posse guy's over there sweating all his fucking THC and fucking Quaaludes out. He's probably powered by OxyContin. I'm like, the big dude. I don't know what that dude was, a machine. I got to give him credit. He's some big fat motherfucker. I don't know how he did it, but he must have had a good core. But my core was no core, and it was so bad. So we walk out into the lobby of the place, and he's with me, and he's like, "Should I walk you to the car?" And I was so emasculated. You're just so like, what the fuck, dude? Like embarrassed and ashamed, but at the same time was like, dude, haven't had a Nestle Crunch in years. That was fantastic. And as I'm walking out, they have one of them bars that you can get a smoothie. And I waited for the dude to leave me alone. I thought he left me alone, and he goes, "All right, John. All right, man. I hope you feel better." And as soon as he takes the corner, I go, "Hey, can I get a peanut butter moose track smoothie?" And the girl's just like, "Sure. What size?" And I'm like, "Large." And she's like this, making it. Just looking at me with.
You never tell me the story, dude. I
Why?
feel like I should know
Why
this.
am I never telling you this story? You know, you see why? So now I'm sitting there, and now I'm just like, I'm getting my heart rate back down. I'm not sweating. I'm getting a fucking smoothie. I'm like, all right.
Moose tracks.
Dude comes walking around the corner, and right as he makes eye contact with me, he's about to be like, "Oh, you're still here." And I went to be like, and the girl goes, "Here." And she hands me the smoothie. And he literally just goes. And I'm like, And I didn't know what else to say except for, do you do private lessons? And the look on his face was, yeah, I do private lessons. So now I'm all in. How much? What you do? So now this poor dude, because it's his job, has to go through it's this much for a half hour, it's this much for an hour, but if you sign up for 6 classes in advance, you get this discount.
But you could tell he wasn't vested. Like, he wasn't believing.
Complete.
He wasn't buying it.
I go, just like this, I go, I need to check my work schedule for your nights of availability.
I get a lot on my plate,
Yeah,
guy.
I get a lot on my plate, and any chance you have that on paper so I can have it as a reference as I go through my work schedule?
Oh, my God.
This poor dude had to walk back to his cubby and go get me the piece of paper with the fucking information on it, and he hands it to me, and he goes, oh, will you be signing up tonight? And we had this look at each other of like, I'm not signing up tonight. I know that you know.
We both know
that I'm not
and
signing
you know
up.
that I know.
Yeah. You know what, dude? You got a better chance. You better get a job at McDonald's fucking drive-thru if you ever want to see me again, is what I'm thinking. He's probably thinking, can't wait to read the obituaries about, fat fuck tries treadmill at local gym.
Holy shit.
So he gives me the flyer. I walk out to the car, and I'm really feeling like fuck. So the next morning I wake up, my kneecaps feel like they've been hit by fucking baseball bats. My lower back feels like fucking, Mike Tyson took a couple swings at it.
That's right.
And I really start to get like, you know what, John, you got to do this. You got to do this for real. That's fucked up, dude. You got a kid, at the time, I don't want to die alone. Big fat tub of shit. They got to bury me in a piano case and cut a hole in the side of the wall just to get me out of the house. I don't want that for me. So I'm like, maybe I'll call this dude, So
You did not call.
No, so about a week goes by, and like a blessing from God, the world shut down because of COVID. It was if God said, John, I'm going to save your life by saving your life. And he created COVID, and he shut the world down, and he shut every gym down, and I could never go do that gym. So instead of joining the gym and getting myself right and making sure that I'm not a fat fuck who enjoys the Nestle Crunch on the floor of a gym, I started eating Fluffernutters live on Facebook. And that's how we got to where we are today. So as far as New Year's resolutions go, they can suck a bag of dicks because they are not for me.